Here at the Staffordshire Regiment Museum, we tell the story of the Staffordshire Regiment from 1705 right up to the present day, the Mercian Regiment. We have a trench system that people can explore, and also have a collection of war exhibits that help tell the story of warfare. We very much volunteer run. We have around about 50 active volunteers who are involved in all aspects of our work and help us to deliver our missions and objectives. We really want to go on a journey of inclusivity and accessibility to our site. We're a little bit of a difficult collection, a little bit niche, so I really wanted to make sure our stories that we're telling are diverse and representative of the communities that we're looking at serving. Very much as well as reflecting inclusivity to our audiences, we also want to make we're inclusive of our volunteering, which is so important to how we run, and we want to make sure that they felt valued and they want to be themselves when they come here, and that's very much why we've embarked on this EDI journey. Our first step was to talk to museum development. They initially led me to having accessibility audits, so how we make ourselves as accessible as possible. That then led us to a further line into the Inclusive Museums programme. The Inclusive Museum programme was a 2-year course that initially involved cohort training with other like-minded organisations, looking at our equality, diversity and inclusivity, and how we look at our collections, our stories, how we approach things like an EDI action plan. The training was very, very useful, and it's very much done in a structured way that was a level that we could achieve. So within that cohort, there were bigger museums and smaller museums, and it's really important for us to obviously be able to have targets in there that were achievable. We then developed into a system of one-to-one support, so then how we would deliver on particularly our EDI action plans, so how we get those in place, working with our trustees, working with our front of house, working with all the rest of our volunteers, and making sure that the training that we had got embedded into a more accessible organisation. So in terms of our changes through our work with EDI, we want to make sure everything we do and how we communicate with all is as accessible as possible. So our website, we've looked at changing fonts, we've changed colour palettes and updating our terminologies. And we try and incorporate different learners' needs so that we're able to create an excellent experience in everything we do. We've also looked at developing our stories here and looking at approaches some of those more controversial stories that we've had in the past, and the colonial stories that we've been involved in, inevitably as part of British Army Regiment, and making sure we're reflecting those stories in a non-biased and non-factual way rather than with a Eurocentric view. I would encourage museums to, if they want to engage their audiences, if they want to enact change, make them relevant, talk to your museum development, talk to your MDOs. They'll know about the training and the support that you can have out there to embark on this journey. Another tip I would give would be learning from your peers and the cohort, big and small. You can learn how different approaches help to make that meaningful change happen quite quickly and rapidly. My other top tip would be make sure your organisation is on board. Your volunteers, your staff, your trustees, your directors, bring them along on the journey, educate them along the way, because once you explain it in that way, even the people who might be a little bit resistant to change are all really happy to come on that journey. So for us, EDI is the right thing for us to do. It means that we're able to be an organisation that people want to be involved with, both from a funding perspective and from an audience perspective, which will increase our income generation and how we make a sustainable product going into the future. But also for us, enables us to achieve what our core aims and objectives are, which is to tell our story to the widest amount of audiences as we possibly can.